man. Just playing a bit before work. We gotta clock in at kitty sitting. Almost done with my gear on here, ironically. I've had some decent luck. Easy. I hate the grabs in this game. I wish you could mash out of them. The grabs are so irritating. They have the most bullshit hitboxes. Of course you've got to be right there. Never gonna have a one-on-one fight in this game. So always got to be a generic mook behind you to annoy you. Wisdom teeth removal, huh? Are you alright? Yeah, I've been really exhausted the past few days. Doing 2 jobs has been really, really hard on me. My body's been very tired. That's why I haven't been streaming much. Look at the range on that grab. So bullshit. This enemy has like no tell on anything. Instant startup. One of my least favorite enemies. I want my gear back. Deal with this bullshit. It's a lot harder to burst enemies down when you don't have, like, 70% key damage. You can really stay in their faces a lot when you have that. I still need 3 more pieces. Yeah, I switched to this one because it's Nobuyuki Hiyama. And I always play as the Nobuyuki Hiyama character if I can. The original hype man. Dude's been in like... I actually just looked on Moby Games. He's been in like 20 different games on this channel. He's been in so much stuff I've played on here. There's also some stuff on there that's uncredited too. Games he's been in that I've played on here. He's been a mainstay. Him and Johnny Young Bosch, probably the voice actors that have been in the most games I've played on here. By a rather large margin. Bosch is in like a huge percentage of the games I've played on here, and Nobuyuki Hiyama is in a lot too. Both of those guys, I've been hearing them scream for very long periods of time. Scroll of the Nioh. What's on this puppy? The one I've got is garbage. That's actually a really bad one. That's actually worse than what I already have. Just by proxy of the bosses on it, the enemies on it. What enemies are on it? Itsumade, and then the Boomer Yokai, and then the younger Otakemaru. And the two affixes at the top are shit too. That's a bummer. So obviously, since no one else has really gotten this far that I know of that has an early key, really limits what I can get. Okay, so on this floor I can get Ninigi, so ideally get Ninigi foot piece or ranged weapon. Let me see, what am I at right now? I'm at 5 and 5. So I guess I'm gonna try to full clear this. How much time do I have to play? About 2 hours. About 2 hours to play. See if I can make some progress today at least. I don't have access to Scrolls of the Damned because I'm not at the end of the Underworld and there's nobody to play with, but hopefully I can find something today at least. Played a little bit off camera today. I think I got like one good piece today. It'll be pretty smooth sailing when I get to that point, but who knows when that's going to be. That's how this game is with RNG. You need to go, dude. No, you don't. There's a bunch of dudes in here. You can't refill your kitties until you completely exit the underworld. So unless you've got untouched, you're gonna run out of them pretty quickly. You gotta really keep them going. This guy's gotta go. How did I not counter that? Come on, man. I hate these enemies. They have the best of both worlds. They're humans, but then they turn into yokai, and then when they're yokai, they have, like, permanent hyper armor. Everyone's favorite. What did I get? Okay, so this table is correct. I might just try to get through here like twice. Depends on what the boss is. I don't remember what boss is on this level. If it's a real shit boss, then I'll probably have to wait until floor 8. But then the one after this I can get Susanoo, so ideally I want to try to stay here since I'm only missing 3 pieces. I think it's generally better to just go straight for the boss, though. Especially if it's a boss you can burst down really quickly. You're gonna get a lot more drops that way. Okay, get away from that enemy. Pull over there. the last word in. Bastard. I love it when they do that. Magic Pixel in this game, they have like no health. And then they always get a command grab off. His grabs in this game have ridiculous hitboxes and priority. You know what? I'm just gonna try to clear. I'm just gonna try to clear. This is a pretty manageable level, so can always come back. Sitting on 3 billion Amrita right now, so it's better to just go here and we'll level it up. It's gonna be another 47 levels before I'm ready for the build anyway. Since I need ultimate strength and courage. And then constitution later, but constitution I'm not worried about right now because I can't get the Scrolls of the Damned at the moment. I'm not at the point of the game where I can even get them. And I'm not gonna suffer through this whole thing by myself. We're not gonna just wait until like next week. Probably be some other people powering through it, veterans and stuff. He got booped in the butt and died. Death by boop. That's satisfying. He could be a real asshole with the random hyper armor. He does it a lot. Like out of like straight hits done, he'll do shit like that. Sweet revenge. All right. Well, he didn't drop anything. It's mostly ranged weapons I need anyway, so I need to start checking all these bodies and stuff because they can drop them. So stupid how long the sloth lasts in the underworld. It lasts like 10 minutes. It's like, why don't you just make it one-shot me? It's gonna last this long. I can't play like this. It's like impossible to play like this. Just stupid. They need to nerf that. It's really obnoxious. Doesn't make it harder, it's just annoying. Basically just make sure you're gonna waste a quick change every time that happens. It's really dumb. I don't know why it's like that. You might as well just make the Slop Talisman just kill me at that point. Like, there's no discernible difference between just having it kill me, and just having it last for like 5 minutes. It's like, okay, what's the purpose of that exactly? To be annoying? Well, it's like, okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. Doesn't really accomplish much otherwise. There's a couple enemies in the underworld that can do that, and I don't get the reasoning behind it. It lasts like 2 seconds on them. Ah, you bastard. He gave me a gun, but I don't know what gun it was. I might have to start re-rolling, see if I have a couple guns. Ethereal guns would probably be the best thing. Just keep resetting until he gives me one. Time to get slothed by this asshole up here. See if I can snipe him, get him up here. Well, if I get this guy, it's mostly the mage is the one that's dangerous. You gotta go, dude. No. Ah. So damn obnoxious, man. They just keep doing that. I wonder if the Sudama comes back. Love when they put, like, the big sword and axe guys in, like, small stairways. It's like, okay, I don't have the tools to deal with that. Could you stop doing that, please? Camera! God. This is so stupid. Let's just put 3 enemies in, like, an area that can barely fit the body of your character. Great idea. I can't kill that fucking guy. God, this guy's hitboxes. Go away. Fuck that guy, man. I wish there were graves, so I had, like, some kind of help. Help with stupid situations like that. I'm gonna try going this way. That way is fucking dumb. Big Odachi guy, and then mage guy. It's like insurmountable. I don't do enough damage to really deal with that right now. Okay, I don't want to aggro the rat. Grab? There it is. Got some potentials here. Nope. So since all I really need is, the only 3 slots I need is ranged weapons and the feet, the boots. That's gonna greatly limit what is actually a usable item. I'm thinking I have some guns in my, some ranged weapons in my storehouse. I might just grab all those after this, and then just keep re-rolling until hopefully I get one. Because that will allow me to get at least 1 set bonus. Right now I don't have access to any of the 6 pieces, which is why I'm doing so much less damage. Ranged weapons are the hardest thing to get, because ranged weapons already drop a lot less. And then when you need them to be a specific race and not just anything, that makes things worse. Oh man, it's a Kuroka. One of my least favorite enemies. They have a lot of health for how boring they are to fight. Some of the enemy placements in here, I said this the first time I went through this, they feel like... feels like they did these on, like, bring your kid to work day. It's like, okay, you're gonna put, like, the largest hitbox enemies in small contained areas like this and expect you to, like, legitimately avoid it. Best levels on the Underworld are where they actually give you room to dodge things. Some of the tile sets they use are real dumb like this. Like 2 axe dudes, and then like a one-eyed Oni in the same area. It's like, here, go fight them on the stairs. You have no room whatsoever. They're no problem by themselves, but when you put them in areas where you can't, like, really react to their attacks, it's pretty dumb. Of course, like, nowhere near that still hit me. Wish I had grabs. Grabs like they do. Your grabs are fucking useless. Because they don't work against yokai. That entire mechanic, a lot of the counters don't work either. If they ever make a Nioh 3, I hope they make, like, more counters and grabs and stuff that work on everybody. Like, at least have, like, a grab cannon type mechanic. A lot of the grabs are really cool, but because you can only use them on human enemies, they're barely useful. And then there's the fact that human enemies basically do nothing but block and input read and go into armor. Makes them kind of pointless. Not completely pointless, but they have the classic action game problem of not being practical to use. Because the mechanics don't let you use them. Okay, if I can get this fox out here. Alright. Get out here, please. No! Get out of the damn menu! I'm getting irritated with this. I might just play something else. I'm getting fucking annoyed. This is a lot more manageable when you have people rush through it. I think I'm just gonna back out, actually. I'm just gonna back out. See if I can re-roll with what I have. That might be the best way to do this. So I don't have any good set bonuses right now, and it's making me do really shit damage. See if I had any ranged weapons in here that I can toss at the Sudama. There's gotta be a couple in here. If I could do a couple rounds of it, maybe. Ranged weapons is the hardest part of making your build by far. You can't even grace inherit with them, so you're completely at the mercy of the RNG. And I've only got 2 in here. Oh, no, I've got a couple actually. I don't think you can save scum them anymore either. They want you to suffer. You used to be able to save scum, but in their infinite wisdom, they took that out. They don't like people having fun, actually not being completely screwed over by RNG. Yeah, all the pieces I've got are already equipped. Okay, so let's try that again. Is this an early key? Yes, I've had this for like 2 weeks. Anywhere that you could buy it early and have it activate would be illegal key resellers. Someone on Reddit said that they bought it off one of those shady sites and they could play right away, which means that somebody sold their review key. But yeah, I've had this for like 2 weeks. That's why I'm at the end game already. Because if you buy a key off another site, it won't activate until the official release date. But if someone sells a review key, then in some cases you can play it early. But whoever did that is probably going to get blacklisted, because you're not supposed to do that. Review keys are strictly for your use only, not for someone else's. Though sometimes they just give you a regular key, but it'll have a special branch for the press. So I am technically press. I'm not officially press, but I'm technically press because I have a channel with a decent amount of reach, and I've worked with a lot of game companies over the years. There's a couple other people that got keys, but the only like high-level player that got one is Zelod. He got his key, I think, on Friday. A lot of the other people that got them haven't really played that much, which, I mean, I can totally understand. These are pretty frustrating games by nature. It's why I'm one of the channels people are gravitating to for this game. So I've actually put several hundred hours into it. Wow, he's being a real dick. He's not giving me anything. He gave me the right thing, but it's the wrong damn grace. Alright, well, let's keep trying this. Damn, Sudama's cursed. He gave me the right grace, but it's not a ranged weapon. Ranged weapons is always pretty much always going to be the last part of your build that you complete. So ranged weapons don't drop that often. There are some enemies that drop them more often, but you're still at the mercy of the RNG. On my PS4 playthrough, I got the ranged weapons really quickly. I got really lucky with that. The other stuff took a lot longer. And when you're down to ranged weapons, this is generally what happens. You can do stuff like this to try to mitigate it, but most of the time you're just going to keep getting junk. Give me a ranged weapon and the right grace, please. What did he give me? Right grace again, wrong weapon. You know, I should just totally put the branch on my shortcuts right now. I'm gonna do that. Faster load times are helping. This is still gonna take forever, though. This is the kind of shit you gotta do in this game. Because for whatever reason, the scrolls that actually have lucky drop for the specific grace you're looking for don't drop until you finish the underworld. So it's either get lucky or do stuff like this and hope that it gives you what you want. I don't know if it can actually give you a ranged weapon off 2 melees. I don't think it can. But I've been giving him 2 ranged weapons, and he's just kind of turning it all down. Little bastard. What happens if I give you this? Give me a rifle. Wait. Wrong grace! Both of them! What a dick, man. Wow. Light side, I am not that experienced with cheat engine. That would require knowing, like, the item ID, and then the value to change it and stuff, and knowing all the values for every piece of gear, every affix. That's not something I can do by myself. I'm like a script kiddie with cheat engine. I can do stuff like, find the values for, like, money and stuff. That's about the extent of my cheat engine knowledge. I know how to freeze values and stuff. Find and freeze values, but item creation and stuff, that's a whole other can of worms. That's a lot more complicated to do. It's very complicated stuff. I'm sure someone will do it eventually. It's not going to be right away. Maybe by this time, like, next week. Depending on how passionate people are. The people that are really experienced with cheat engine want to do that. I can't get anybody else to help with it either because this is early release, and I would be breaking my embargo if I let someone else play it. I'm not allowed to do that. So the only cheat engine stuff I did was things that I'm familiar with. I gave myself like infinite glory and then a bunch of levels at the start, and that's basically all I did. I haven't really cheated anything else. Which is why I'm still getting bodied. I don't really have any real gameplay cheats on. Just made things a little bit smoother at the beginning. That's basically all it did. Which is what I wanted. I don't want the game to be a steamroll. I just wanted to get back to this part faster. Still want the game to be challenging. Now he's not giving me any ranged weapons. He keeps giving me the right grace, but he gives me the wrong weapon type. I already had someone DM me on Discord and ask me if I knew how to make everything drop instantly. That's the weird thing about this game. It seems like they want people to double dip, but the layers of RNG and how much time it takes to grind stuff really doesn't encourage you to really want to play this again. That's kind of a shame. A game like this should definitely have cross-save. There's really no excuse for it not to. It's pretty stupid that it doesn't. It's not even about finding the perfect drop. It's like stuff like this. Ranged weapons is always like the last part of your build. And it's a real pain to get them. Wrong graces again. This damn Sudama's freaking... I don't know. He didn't get his vacation because of coronavirus. That's why he's giving me nothing but garbage. There's like dozens of affixes in this game for like armor and weapons and stuff. And the scrolls. I'm sure somebody will eventually make it so that you can just get what you want. I know a lot of people will probably use that when the time comes, but right now this is kind of what you have access to. What little script kiddie knowledge I have of cheat engine. Which is luckily enough in most cases. All I really got is a head start. Make it a little bit easier to solo. Game's still very challenging. It's not just a complete steamroll, which is not what I wanted. Just not about to do 300 hours of the same grinding again. Especially since there's no real confirmation that this will have mods at all. It'll get cheat engine stuff for sure. Actual mods is anyone's guess. No one really did anything for the first game. First game was mostly just stuff like... the game did have an equipment editor. I remember using that at some point, once I pretty much was done with the game. It's anyone's guess if it will have actual mods. He keeps giving me the wrong grace. I'm on the right floor for the grace pool, but a little bastard's just not giving it to me. I've only got like another hour to play too, so I don't have much more time. I'm gonna play some East 9 when I get back. Probably give this another couple minutes and I might switch over to something else. And then when I get back from my kitty job, probably play East 9. I haven't really had time to play it lately. Give me a ranged weapon, and give me the right grace, please. Please. Classic. What a bastard, man. That's like the 5th time he's done that. He gave me a grace inheritance, though, which is nice, but I don't need that right now. I need the damn ranged weapon to make any kind of vertical progress with my build whatsoever. It's definitely the worst part of this game. A lot of people fight the Psycha clan because they're more likely to drop guns. Or people have been looting that one corpse on the sun sets on Mount Tenno, the Ryomen Sukuna level. They've been like looting that for hours. That's how stupid this part of the game is. I really hope it eventually they just make it so that you can grace inherit with what was I gonna say? Grace inherit with ranged weapons. That would get rid of a lot of the stupid stuff. But you can't. Ranged weapons are considered a different category, so you can't grace inherit with them. It would make this a lot easier if you could. I'm gonna try armor. He seems to be dropping more armor, so... How many ethereals do I have in here? I've got a whole bunch of them. Some of these I want to keep, though. Do I have a winded enemy? That's like one of the best in slot. That's what I have on PS4. I think I can safely just dump all these. Maybe he'll give me something. Actually, if he gives me a lot of grace inheritance, that'll at least give me one piece to work with. He's got to stop being a dick, though. How many foot pieces do I have to work with? Wow, this one's actually not bad. I'm gonna lock that one. These are all too good to throw away. I've got to get some more junk to give him. If I can Grace Inherit off these, then that would be pretty good. I don't think I have any, though. Patch notes for the version I've been playing on for 2 weeks is mostly just bug fixes, and people are starting to lose hope. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure the next patch will probably adjust the balancing issues, maybe have some more polish, but the patch that's dropping today is basically just it's mostly just making it compatible with PS5. This game is essentially soft relaunching twice on the same day. There definitely will be more patches. They are actually already officially confirmed that there will be more patches. They're not going to let stuff go untouched for too long, I don't think. Let's go get some more boots out of the storehouse. A ranged weapon's going to be a real pain to get. See if I can get something else at least. How many Grace Inheritances do I have in here? I might have one I can already use. No, I don't. I'm gonna give this another couple tries. I might just wait to do this until the general public has this. At least then I'll have, like, graves to fight and stuff. Not having any graves is part of the problem, too. You can definitely get them randomly from them. You can't Revenant trade anymore. They took that out. Which is kind of stupid when you think about it, because that would actually fix the problem. You can't Revenant trade past Dream of the Strong anymore, so for whatever reason they don't like you to trade in this game. You have to go all the way back to the first New Game Plus to trade anything. Anything else past that gets completely re-rolled. But in this case, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because it means that if you do find a bunch of Revenants you can kill and they have ranged weapons equipped, then there's a chance you can get them. But since there's no graves at all, because nobody else has really gotten this far, you can't really do that. I shouldn't have given him weapons, huh? He's not going to give me anything back. Hey, he gave me something. Ah, you dick, man. Wrong grace again. Oh, man. This is why I do stuff like this off-stream. It's very boring to watch. This is what you gotta do, though. I wouldn't hold it against anybody just hacking their gear back. Like, I could totally understand why. They've made some half efforts to, like, reduce the RNG in this game, but there's still a lot of it. And this isn't even trying to min-max, this is just basically trying to complete a build. And you can see just how hard it is to do that. The game just doesn't give you what you want. It needs to be the right weapon type, and then it needs to be the right grace. Luckily, stats on weapons don't matter that much. Oh, there's one. Nice. Cool. Okay, so what I need now is... So I got my versatility back. That's a huge improvement. I'm gonna go 7-6. I think I'm gonna go 7-6 instead of 6-7. Might as well just go for 7 for now. Wow, that one's actually pretty good. I'm gonna keep that one. Can inherit that one later. You only need one more piece for Nioh too. I might actually go back to the previous floor and try to find a Sudama. For the most part, yes. Some people do use Grace sets still because they did add extra bonuses to them, but most people just use the Graces. I wouldn't call them objectively better, but generally that's what you want to aim for. Not quite power crept, but close. They added extra, I think, 7-piece bonuses to all the old sets. Some people do use them, but it's definitely more of a niche. I think they could have done a little bit more. I'm surprised they even did that at all. There wasn't really anything like that in the first game. The first game, it was pretty much completely Graces is what you used. Although I didn't get as far into the end game in the first one as I did with this. I think the end game in this is like objectively better in almost every way. It's mostly just stuff like this, like feeling like you have to keep resetting to get what you want. That's kind of what the problem is. Other than that, I think this game has a much better end game. Although even that's kind of arguable at this point because they added those new floors to the depths where you get one shot by everything. And everything is just an HP sponge. A lot of people are not happy with it. I haven't even bothered with it on console. Honestly, I don't care. That's why I stopped playing the first game, because it just became one-shot city. It's just pure artificial difficulty. I'm always down for a challenge. I like challenging games, as much as it could seem like I don't like them because of my low frustration threshold, but I'm not down for getting one shot and fighting enemies that just keep blocking and then they heal. One of the problems right now is if you get a human boss, it can be like almost insurmountable to kill them because human bosses in this game, as we all know, mostly block. And there's no more parry disabled, so you don't have anything to kind of get around the fact that they just stand there and block forever. But then in the new floors they added, they have like massive passive healing as well. So a lot of times they'll just like back off and they'll heal back like any damage you did. It's incredibly dumb. People have been complaining about it, and I just decided I'm not going to bother with that. I don't have any reason to subject myself to that kind of torture. There's no tangible reward for it either. You get like slightly more drops, but it's not worth the frustration. That's why a lot of the community's kind of pissed off at the patch that's coming out with the PS5 and PC version. The one that I'm on right now is just bug fixes. But the community manager is actually pretty cool. He's in the Discord, and he said that they were going to do a meeting about game balance. I think people were expecting this to be the big patch that fixes all that stuff, but obviously since they're basically relaunching the game twice on the same day, they kind of need to focus on just bug fixes and stuff right now. Which makes sense. The average person's not going to be at this point from a fresh file for like weeks or even months, depending on how slow they go. I don't think they really need to worry about it right this instant, as frustrating as it is. This game's basically getting a second lease on life because of the timed exclusivity. I don't know how many patches they did for the first game after it came out on PC, but it seems like they're going to do more this time. I would hope so. There's still a lot of things this game's missing. I should not have to do things like this, for instance. I should be able to just grace inherit shit I already have. You should be able to do it transcending weapon categories like melee and ranged, or ranged and melee. Shouldn't have to do stuff like this, but this is the easiest way, ironically. I got one of the ranged weapons today, and that's actually huge progress. I worry about the min-maxing when this is actually available to the public. I wasn't even expecting to get this far, but the fact that they made it so you only have to do like 20 levels to get to the next difficulty. And the little head start I got off of Cheat Engine, I was able to get back here pretty quickly. I have like barely any of the stuff unlocked though. The plan was to get all this done, then probably go back and just help new players. I don't think that many people are actually going to double dip on this game. It's kind of not a good game to double dip on. There's too much grinding, there's too much RNG. They really should have had cross-save. That would have sold a lot more copies, I'm sure. This is still going to sell quite well, but it's kind of a slap in the face to people like me who bought this at launch. Keep in mind, I did not get a review key for the console version. I paid for the deluxe edition out of my pocket, which was obviously worth it. I got like hundreds of hours out of the game, but I paid for this game like everybody else, and it's a real slap in the face for them to not have cross-save. So, you know, people are going to want to play with their friends who don't have a PS5 and stuff, or they're like me and they have a PS4, but they hate paying for PS Plus. It would have been nice to have cross-play and cross-save. I think that's the biggest thing this game's missing. It's not a large player base in the first place, but now it's going to be segregated even more. A lot of the good players are not going to buy this again because it's too much grinding. There's too many layers of RNG in this game to like easily start over. It's not even like a JRPG where you have like a flat amount of time it'll take you to get back. In this game, it's like you may never get that drop you want again. And you have stuff like this where it's finding the last ranged weapon is always a real pain in the ass. There's just not much you can do other than this. And I'm not a big fan of Ninja Gaiden, honestly. I think they're very stiff games. If they were more responsive like this, I would like them more. I feel like they're okay games at best. I like the weapon variety and stuff. I like the cool amount of weapons you can use. Like Tonfas and Kusarigama, stuff that's in this game, the bow and everything. But I don't like the combat that much. The enemies like dance circles around you, and Hayabusa can't fucking cancel out of anything. He's glued to the ground. I hope if they really are making a Ninja Gaiden 4 that they take some lessons from this game. The game can still be challenging and not have your character glued to the ground and unable to cancel out of things. I think they need to get away from that design philosophy. I really don't think it's going to fly in 2022 or whenever that game is supposed to come out. It's probably not this year. It's probably going to be like announced this year. It's not even that it's about combos, it's just that the game is stiff. I don't care that it's not about combos. I don't like how you can't cancel out of anything. That's what I hate about the Ninja Gaiden games. I don't like being locked in animations. It just becomes just chaining the essence techniques over and over and over, instead of actually using the moveset. And flying swallow over and over and over. It's not interesting to me. I don't knock the people that are good at it, but I just don't like action games in general where I can't cancel out of actions. It's a real buzzkill for me. Yeah, the Tonfa was the only weapon I liked. It had the Heavenly Justice cancel. That was the only weapon that felt any fun to use. Didn't feel so damn stiff. Doesn't make sense that a ninja, the master ninja of all things, can't cancel out of any animations. The enemies can do it, but you can't. Yeah, it's abusing invincibility frames. That's like all it is. And Flying Swallow. Which is definitely up there for one of the most satisfying moves to pull off in an action game, but it shouldn't be the only thing you do. That and Azuna drops. I played all of them, mind you. I've only finished... I finished the second game, but all of them are like that. It's always just Flying Swallow and chaining ultimate techniques with the essence to charge it faster, and then Azuna drops. Everything else is just like for style. Which is like, why are you going to give me so many moves? And make it so that I can't use them. This game, that's much less of an issue in this game than Ninja Gaiden. Which is ironic because this game recycles a lot of animations from Ninja Gaiden. One of the endgame enemies literally has the Eclipse Scythe ultimate technique animation. Just ripped from Ninja Gaiden 2 wholesale. Most animations in this are cancelable, and if they aren't, you can use the feral class for your yokai spirit form. You can use that. You can do stuff like this. A good example would be like Beyond Infinity. Can't cancel out of this. You can see me mashing the button. I can't cancel out of it, but if you have anima, you can cancel out of any animation, which I feel is something that Ninja Gaiden needs, so that more of the moves are actually useful. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden and Tekken have a lot of similarities. I think it's cool that I think Tekken 7 added some training mode or something that actually tells you like the 3 moves that you would actually want to use. That's the hardest thing that makes Tekken so inaccessible to a new player. You see a character has like 200 moves and they think it's going to be like studying for an exam or something, when it's really just you need to find the dozen or so moves that you'll actually be using and how to combo off a punish and stuff. Tekken's always been really daunting to get into, but it's not as hard as people say it is. I played Tekken 5 for a while, and I could cheese out a couple wins just knowing like 8 moves. But in Ninja Gaiden, it's like it's not a fighting game, it's an action game. You're constantly surrounded by enemies. And they give you these massive movesets, but am I really going to get to the end of a 10-hit combo without being able to cancel? No. Somebody's going to hit you, inevitably. It doesn't make much sense to me. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but that's always been my opinion. If you're going to give me options in an action game, I want to be able to use most of them. Just by how video game design works, you know, there's obviously going to be some useless moves, or at best, some moves that are like barely usable. Like, that will always happen, but I'd say if you can use like at least 75% of them in some situation, then the movesets are actually pretty well designed. But when it's stuff like Ninja Gaiden, where a lot of it looks really awesome, and you can tell they put a lot of time into those animations, but practicality-wise, they're useless. I just don't see the point in that. It's one thing Devil May Cry 3 really nailed. Problem with DMC 3 was the fact that the hardware limitations didn't let you style switch. So he generally went with Swordmaster all the time, but that's less of a design flaw and just the way that the you know, the console it was on. It was on a pretty weak console, so they couldn't do that. But you can tell they put a lot of effort into making sure that most moves had a use. There weren't a lot of completely useless moves in that game. The style switcher on the Switch version is actually really shitty. It's actually objectively worse than the PC version in every way. Because it's mapped to the right analog stick. Otherwise you have to go in order, and they couldn't be bothered to add like the loadout mechanic that they had in 5, which is ironic because that game came out like a year after 5. That would have been the easiest way to fix it, but when you get all the weapons, it's a nightmare to get to the exact thing that you want. It's almost impossible, really. You need to have like a third arm or something. It's really poorly designed. I don't know why they did that. It's weird because at the beginning, the style switch is actually quite usable because you don't have all the weapons. But when you have all 10, it's like impossible to actually get to what you want. Like, it's legit impossible to get it. It's really stupid. I don't know why it's designed the way it is. That's actually a really good piece. I think I'm just gonna sit on that for now. Just gonna wait for a Grace Inheritance to drop. So I gotta go soon anyway. Ah, these fucking spear guys, man. Best hitbox ever. Yeah, I've got to go in about half an hour. I'll give this a couple tries. Come back after I'm done with the kitties. Hopefully they behave better tonight. My last shift was 2 days ago, and they knocked their damn food over. I had to clean the whole kitchen. I came back really exhausted that night. Hopefully they're better behaved today. Bad behavior. You know, let's just do some resets on Nioh. That's less frustrating and more fruitful, probably, at this point. Let's, do a couple resets, then I'm gonna hop off for tonight. I might come back tonight. We'll see. It's mostly just trying to complete my build at this point, and then I'm just gonna wait for everybody else to catch up when it goes public. I think that's the best course of action right now. And you see if I got any Grace Inheritance. If I did, then that would be pretty good. Yeah, I didn't get any Grace Inheritance. Let me see, what level is my weapons? Yeah, it's pretty safe. I can just axe everything.
いらっしゃい。
So many times I've killed Nioh the past few days. Trying to get some farming done. There's so many of them in here. How many kills is that? That's like... probably like 50 or 60 kills. He's the loot pinata of this game, even though they nerfed him. They made it so he drops less stuff, but for leveling up accessories and stuff, he's still like the best place in the game. Also for leveling up your character too. Because you can kill him in a couple seconds, and he does still drop some stuff. And you can earth folding back, so that allows you to keep killing him without using your usage. This one looks real garbage. I'm not even gonna bother trying to clear this one. The two affixes at the top are real shit. Let's do a couple resets. I have to go to work soon. Well, my second job. This is my main job. But the kitties are my second job, and they really need me right now. Alright, let's put earth folding on. Nobuyuki Hiyama. That's why. The original hype man. Probably known from biggest roles would be Siegfried in Soul Calibur, Link in Ocarina of Time, and then the first two Smash games. Masamune, the bald guy in Bleach. Those are his most recognizable roles, but he's been in like, I counted earlier today, he's been in like 20 of the games I've played on this channel over the years. But those are the ones people know him from. Yeah, basically he was the first non-YouTube poop voice that Link had. The only other voice they had given Link at that point was the old show from the 80s that I grew up with, and then the CDI YouTube poop games. But since he doesn't actually really speak in Ocarina of Time or Smash, people don't recognize his voice, but it's not just nostalgia either. He definitely has been the best voice for Link. Surprised they don't let him reprise his role. The other guys they get to scream for Link are like, they're nowhere near as good as Hiyama. Hiyama's basically Johnny Young Bosch, but Japanese. It's one of those voice actors that has a lot of range. He could do more than just scream, but that's what he gets hired to do. He has Johnny Young Bosch syndrome. Johnny Young Bosch, contrary to popular belief, can do more than one voice. It's just like Nobuyuki Hiyama, he's not ever hired to do it. They're both typecast for being hot-blooded anime protagonists that scream a lot, because they're really fucking good at screaming. That's just the nature of being known for something. It's kind of happening to content creators right now. Like all those like Overwatch and League of Legends streamers that get tired of the game because they're really shitty games. They're not fun to play, and the community is mostly just toxic kids and assholes. Then they try to branch out and play something niche like this, and nobody watches. It's interesting how the average person working from home can now experience typecasting like a professional actor. There's been a lot of those guys that have tried to get away from playing those shitty esports games, but their audience won't let them because they're mostly kids who have shit taste in video games. They're not allowed to play anything else. It's sad, really. I'm lucky that I diversified enough early on that that was never really a problem for me. I'm still mostly known for like Muso and stuff, but I've had success playing things like this too, which it's not too far from what I normally play, but it's not like the main thing that I play. But yeah, if you're an esports streamer, good luck. There's really only a couple of them that have really managed to break out from whatever esports game they were known for. That guy that used to play Overwatch, he somehow managed to become a variety streamer and like never play Overwatch anymore. That dude is incredibly lucky. Very hard to do that. Maybe he got lucky and his audience is a little bit older. I think the Fortnite channels have it the worst, because those kids have garbage taste in video games. They haven't actually played good video games before, so a lot of those guys are basically paid babysitters at this point. They probably get tired of it. They probably want like a more mature audience. But when you're at that point, you can't really stop playing the game you're known for. You're kind of just stuck. But I really did diversify a lot early on. I played a lot of action games, not just one thing. I've never really felt like I've had to play anything. Like, I didn't play Age of Calamity at all. I did one video for that game because the frame rate was making me sick. I don't care if I was going to get a lot of views off it. It's not worth making myself physically nauseous over a video game. Well, I'm pretty good at most of the games I play. I'm better than the average content creator, so... The problem with the kinds of games I like to play is... learning how to play them is kind of a lost art. There's always been a problem where they give keys to people who don't know how to play them. So, I can get by playing things I like. Being good at games, good enough to like make guides and stuff, can be enough. You don't have to be the best. And I think trying to be the best at this point is just, it's a waste of time. It's better to get good at explaining how to do the crazy shit in video games. Because there's an endless amount of like really good people for any game you can think of, even niche stuff like this. But there's very few that can actually explain how things work. That's why I do a lot of guides. I don't have to be the best. I'm definitely above average in pretty much everything I play, but I don't really strive to be the best because as a content creator who plays a variety of games, not just one game, I don't really have to do that. It's a lot harder though when you're into esports games and stuff though, because those are very, very picky audiences. That's like the only thing they want to watch, especially if it's like Fortnite. Most of your audience is probably like teenagers or younger. They're not gonna care about something like this. Put on like Ninja Gaiden or like Final Fight or something, they're gonna be like, what the hell is this? Why are the graphics bad? Why are there no guns? I don't envy those people really. They're far more successful than I am, but their careers are a lot more fragile than mine is. And they're really tied to that one game, and they have very little chance of breaking out. Like I said, there's that one guy that just legit got tired of Overwatch and just became a variety streamer. I don't watch the guy, but as a fellow content creator, that's pretty commendable. That is not an easy thing to do, especially with that kind of audience. Like I said, maybe that guy lucked out. Probably had a lot of people like, maybe like late college age, mid to late 20s, that actually did grow up with good video games, instead of just shit ones like the kids playing Fortnite. So he was able to just completely phase that game out. It's mostly failure stories, not success stories with that kind of thing, though. People playing Hearthstone and Fortnite and League of Legends, how just mentally draining those games are to play, and the community is even worse. They get tired of playing them, but nobody will watch them play anything else. Let's see, did I get any good accessories? So it's also, he's good for accessories as well. I don't think I'm going to bother messing with accessories right now, though. I'm just going to wait until it's available for the public. But yeah, the money is good, but the mental health is not. Feeling like you're forced to play a game and you can't play what you want is the worst part of content creation. Like, a lot of those people probably never have to work again a day in their life, unless they're really irresponsible with their money. I guarantee you they get tired of playing those games, though, and they get sick of dealing with the community. Because at that point it becomes like babysitting. Especially like the Fortnite streamers and stuff. It's mostly kids. Especially since parenting these days, a lot of it is just... A lot of parents don't actually parent their kids, they depend on content creators to parent their kids for them. And it's like a big deal if a content creator swears. It's like, well, they're like mid-20s, early 30s. It's pretty normal to swear at that point. And they get canceled because some like soccer mom gets pissed off. Like, the guy said, like, one bad thing, and you can get canceled over that. It's like, well, why are you letting a video game streamer basically raise your kid? You should be doing it. You should be held accountable for the things they say, but sometimes it's, like, stupid stuff that they get canceled over. Yeah, the Hayabusa boss battle is, objectively, like, one of the worst fights in this game. Because he has random hyper armor, which is something all human bosses have, but he has, like, way more of it than anybody else. And some of his attacks have, like, no startup whatsoever. It's a really terrible boss fight. It's a great throwback. It's basically a reference to the fact that this game takes a lot of things from the Ninja Gaiden games. Even though this game has very little to do with Ninja Gaiden, a lot of the animations and the mechanics and stuff are similar. It's a really shitty boss fight. No one likes it. It's very unfair. Also, he drops like 4 secret moves, so you're inevitably going to have to fight him dozens of times to get them all. So the fact that it's such an unfun and unfair boss fight just makes it worse. On my PS4 file, I must have killed him like 100 times to get all his stuff. I did it on the easiest difficulty, too. Difficulty does not increase secret move or art of combat drops at all. So when you farm stuff in this game, if you want a secret move drop, it's better to just do it on the easiest difficulty with endgame gear. But even then, it has to be a boss that you can actually get to quickly. Luckily, Bob Hayabusa in this game is he has his own level. It's just a straight boss fight. So that part helps, but for other bosses, before they added the picture scrolls, the meta was to just save and reload until you got what you wanted. Yeah, Ren Hayabusa is the worst boss fight in this game by a very large margin. They don't have parry disabled in this game anymore either. He has Flying Swallow, but you can't get it off him. That just makes it worse. You can get like most of his moveset, but you can't get Flying Swallow. He uses it against you, but it's not a move you can move from him. He's not dropping anything today. He hasn't dropped a single good piece. It's mostly dropped junk. Okay, I got a couple more resets in me, and then I really have to go. I have to go to my kitty sitting job for like probably an hour and a half. Come back, probably play some East 9 instead of this. I'm at the point where I need a ranged weapon and one boot drop to complete my build. I need one more ranged weapon, but that's a lot in this game. Ranged weapons are generally the last thing you get for your build. I have a review key. That's why I'm playing it early. I've had this for like 2 weeks. You know, there's basically no embargo at all, so... There is one thing I can't show, but I'm not doing that part of the game anyway, so I basically have access to everything. This is like the most lax embargo I've had as a content creator, besides just not having an embargo at all. The embargo is basically non-existent. That's why I've been playing this early. Normally I would be like restricted on what I could show. This game, it's like, no, you can't show one boss. That's your only restriction. I'm not even doing that right now, as I'm just trying to get a build for when it's publicly available. So it's basically no embargo to me. I think they're being lax with this because it's been available on PS4 for like almost a year now, like 11 months. I feel like anybody who wanted to watch the cutscenes would have either beaten the game themselves or watched them on here by this point. That's probably why they don't care. Yeah, I don't touch anything from Atlas for that reason. I don't like the Persona games anyway. I don't want to play games about high school and dating with 100 hours of turn-based combat, so I've never had any interest anyway, but even if I did, I would play something like that off-stream. It's not worth it. It's not the fault of the American branch, it's the Japanese branch being run by balding boomers like everything else in our world. They have no idea how the internet works. Alright, after this reset, there's going to be 2 more. And then I really have to go. See if they'll give me something in 3 kills. Mr. Luke Pinata here. Alright, 2 more kills. I'm leveling up doing this too. This is actually the fastest way to level up in the game. 2 boss scroll with Onryoki, Earth folding back, repeat. The loot used to be a lot better, but then they nerfed it. Still the best experience in the game though. Alright, next one's last one. Looked like he dropped anything that time. Some more poop. No good accessories either. I don't think so anyway. Actually, this one's not bad. I can probably put that one in the stone. Nothing like stand out great though. It's mostly junk. Let's put that one in the stone before I hop off, because otherwise I'll disassemble it. Melee damage is always good, especially with these weapons. Alright, when I come back I'll farm that up. It's gonna take too many kills. This is gonna get me 10 billion Amrita, so that's a good stopping point as any. I don't think I'll play this when I get back though, unless I feel like it. I'm gonna summon the kitties for good luck, since I have to go to my kitty sitting job. It's fitting. No, he dropped a Kusarigama. It's the only ethereal he dropped. So basically nothing. Alright. Well, very close to having ultimate strength. Another couple farming sessions of this and I'll have that. I'm not gonna worry about Ultimate Con because I don't have Scrolls of the Damned yet. It's going to be really hard to get scrolls at this point, too, because... Surprise, surprise. Review key. They gave most of the review keys to people who haven't really played the game before, so... I've seen a couple of them on Twitch. A lot of them haven't been playing that much. Out of the entire, like, high-level community, the only person that got one... Actually, there's two people that got one. But the most of them have been, just, like, people with big numbers. Which is a shame. But, Zelod, bless that guy. He's been really helping the new players and stuff. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a pretty big infusion of players because it's going to be on PC and then PS5. I think a lot of people will buy it on PS5 because there's like no games on that thing right now. It's basically just a backwards compatibility machine. So I'm glad he's helping the new players while he streams, and then I put up a lot of guides throughout the game's lifespan, so people will watch those more. But I'm not really educating anybody right now. I'm just kind of playing for fun. Hopefully I can complete that build. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow. That last range weapon is going to be a real bitch to get. If I can get a Grace Inheritance for the armor, then that will pretty much do it. But that's a whole other can of worms in itself. Anyway, I'm not going to host anybody. I only have one person watching on YouTube, on Twitch, I mean. I will be back after my kitty sitting shift. Whether I feel like beating up on Ryoki for another 3 hours or I actually want to start East 9. I did get Curse of the Dead Gods too. I was playing that a little bit off camera. That game's pretty damn awesome. It's looking like I'm probably either going to play that or East 9 when I get back. I'll catch you guys. If I'm not back in like 2 or 3 hours, then I'm probably not coming back at all. I had to wake up early this morning to do adult stuff like send in all the papers for my medical insurance. So I'm pretty damn tired. If I do feel like gaming anymore tonight, it'll probably be one or two or both of those things. See you guys in a bit.